According to a website, Steve Perry is suing over some unreleased songs, and I'll tell you all about it coming right up.
And now it's time for Steve Perry News with Gary Stuckey. All Steve Perry News.
Hello everybody, it's Gary Stuckey. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. And over on a website called theblast.com and over on Twitter, they posted this article about Steve Perry. Now, The Blast, I'm not, really familiar with this website or the Twitter following, everything like that. So they may be like the Inquirer, but it's not a negative story. But what it's saying, what the headline says, Steve Perry is suing this guy over the rights to some songs. It seems, according to this article, uh, that Steve and a guy named Phil Brown were recording back in the early 90s, before he released his solo album, For the Love of Strange Medicine, and right after Journey, a few years after that split, but he was doing some demos with this guy named Phil Brown on an 8-track tape recorder. It's not high quality or anything. And they weren't meant to be released. They were just messing around on a tape recorder. And now Phil is trying to release them and get credit for it and use Steve's name and things like that. And Steve is trying to stop it with a court order, and he's trying to sue him for damages and things like that, But go check out the article. I'll put it in the description here. Like I said, I'm not saying this is 100% true. I just thought it was very interesting when they put this post out today on Twitter, But if this is 100% legit, I will say to Steve's defense, you can't go out. First of all, you can't use anything without permission. And the songs aren't that great if they're demos, if you're messing around, because I record songs. I've got like a recorder, digital recorder, and like a 12 track, which is better quality than for back then. So you could imagine the quality on a tape from back then where you're just messing around with some demos. I mean, it would be kind of an embarrassment. Not that Steve can't sing to, greatest ability, in demos, but what I'm saying is the guy might have been playing around. You can't get that full sound that you want on a demo, on an 8-track, like I said, in a garage, just messing around. It wasn't supposed to be the finished product, so that would be wrong to try to go out there and say, hey, I got this, this recording at this time. I know there's a lot of bootleg songs of Steve out there on the internet and things like that, But, he may not have wanted those songs ever to be out there. But in this case, he sure doesn't want these songs out there because they're not finished. And that's very understandable, The rough drafts of things, you're messing around, that's not what you intend for people to hear. So he doesn't, want to give his name, want his name attached to something that is not top quality stuff that he takes a lot of time. Steve is a perfectionist when it comes to music. He's not going to just put some crap out there. Some people are talking about the album Traces, in a negative way, which I think it's his best album, solo album ever. But he took time out to make sure that's what he liked, and he wants all of us to like it, too. But he's not just going to throw stuff together. But he didn't do that with Traces, and he sure doesn't want to do that with some kind of demo out there. So, way to go, Steve, standing up for your rights and the sound of your music, the quality of music that you want. What do y'all think about that? I think it's totally wrong to take music for somebody that they hadn't intended to release. And if they object to it, you sure don't want to go against that. So, something to think about. But in the meantime, we're still waiting for Steve to give some word about a tour or something like that, and maybe some new music of his own that he purposely wants us to hear. But anyway, go check out that article. Like I said, you tell me what you think about it. Just something I read. Anyway, this is Gary Stuckey. Don't stop believing, everybody. God bless you.